Tony Bennett, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Your current albums, Duets and Duets 2, how do they differ from, say, other albums such as Playing With My Friends?
Well, the big difference is that the first one we did 6 years ago, and this new one we did 6 years later. And the new artists that are coming up, I was very impressed with because they all had good training in schools, in entertainment schools, you know, NYU. Lady Gaga was from NYU, and Berkeley College up in Boston. They're all coming out of schools, and so they're being taught by good teachers as to what to expect, how to behave, what to do and what to leave out. And they were all very professional. When Rosemary Clooney and I started many years ago, we just wanted to be in show business, and it took us 7 years before we felt consummate on the stage. But we learned what to leave out, what to put in, and all that. And it took that many years to become a professional performer. The new group got such good training in schools that they're ready. They don't have to go through the 7 years. They know just what to do, and it was very impressive to me.
So would you say that the younger artists of today have more discipline?
Yes, they're taught in school that they have to have discipline, and they have to be prepared, and they have to come in and be ready and polite to the audience, and they have good upbringing.
And my understanding with the current release is that you travelled to the locations where the artists were that you recorded with. What were the challenges to taking such an ambitious project on the road?
Well, the newest big stars, you know, they were so nice enough to say, yes, we'd like to do something with you. And instead of them coming to me, we decided to go to them. So with Andrea Bocelli and Pisa, Amy Winehouse, I mean, we went to London, did that at the Abbey Studios where the Beatles recorded. In New York was Lady Gaga, and on the West Coast you had Natalie Cole and Katie Lang, and so we actually went 3/4 of the world, traveling around the world doing this. And it's really paid off because it broke into the European market, and in Spain, and in France, and Germany, and Sweden, all that, and of course in Britain. And it was a great adventure, and meeting them in their own countries. I can't tell you how huge each one of them are in the different countries. It's amazing.
So was the music actually affected by being on location with them in their environments?
Well, that's a good question, because I remember one incident that I got a big kick out of, because Lady Gaga, as talented as she is, she couldn't believe, she said, wait a minute, you mean you don't use earphones when you record? I said, no, I don't. And she said, okay, so she took the earphones off. And we just recorded the way we're recording right now, you know, naturally.
You mentioned Katie Lang and also Lady Gaga. You've had a close association with Katie Lang for some time, and I understand that you're very fond of Lady Gaga, and having recently done a portrait of her that's been successful at auction. Do you find that there's any competition between the artists for your attention?
No, not really. They're all different, and that's what's good about it, you know. I really feel that this new group that I recorded with, every one of them are going to be around a long time. They were all very professional. They were very, very excellent performances, and the album is the biggest album I've made in all the years I've recorded. It's sold, it's you know, gone platinum in every country of the world.
Those who work with you talk about your passion and your extreme creative energy. I think that Katie Lang actually said she wishes she had one drop of your creative energy. At the age of 85, how do you manage that at such a pace?
I've had a passion. It was my Italian-American family that came over to America, and they helped my mother out because my father died when I was very young, at 10 years old. And I used to love them. All my aunts and uncles and nephews and cousins, they would come over every Sunday to my house to make my mom feel good, because she had to raise 3 children. It was during the Depression in the United States, and she was a seamstress, and she'd make a penny a dress, you know, and just barely put food on the table for us. So we started at the very bottom. And they were so, they'd make a circle around my brother, sister, and myself, and we would entertain them. And they would say, "Tony, you know, you really sing good, and we love the way you paint also, you know." And I remember very clearly saying, "This is who I am." And it created a passion for me. And with each year, the passions become stronger and stronger. So I have no fashion to ever retire. I have to keep improving as I get older.
You've overcome your own personal battles with things like substance abuse. It must be very upsetting to see young artists such as Amy Winehouse, who you've worked with recently, succumb to their own addictions and battles.
Yeah, well, the most tragic one of all is, beside Amy Winehouse, is now Whitney Houston. I feel that I was impressed in Holland, performing in Holland. I found out the drugs were legalized, and it was more controlled. You know, you didn't have any of the gangsters in the underworld trying to telling everybody there's never enough. You got to keep going, and by legalizing it, it has a control over everybody. You can have just so much, and then wait a minute, that you're going too far. And it would be healthier if it was all legalized internationally.
You're also a very respected artist, and I believe you paint under the name of Benedetto.
Right, that's my family name.
What is it that painting gives you that music doesn't, and how do they complement each other?
They're really the same. It's all the same. You learn, when you're singing, you think of painting. When you're painting, you think of singing. It's learning what to leave out, what to put in, so that there's a nice composition.
Have you always felt that way, though, even in your early career?
Well, I'm still, you know, I'm 85 and I'm still learning. You know, it's funny, you never stop learning.
I found it very interesting that you were drafted into the American Army in 1944 and fought in World War II, and since then you've become a pacifist and you have been a lifelong Democrat. Looking at the last 10 years of American politics, you must have been very disappointed to see the US's position internationally. Did you use any of those feelings in your art and your music?
Well, I was in the infantry in France and Germany, and I saw the horrors of war. Right away, everybody says to me, well, there'll always be wars. You know, insisting that everybody's insane. Well, I don't believe that. I believe that one day, I don't know when or how it'll happen, but something will come about that'll be so strong that it'll stop everybody, and there'll come a time, maybe not in our lifetime, where there won't be any wars, because there's a way that you have to realize in my life, what a gift it is just to be alive. It's a great gift. You're blessed the fact that you were born. And the more that people learn that, the more they're going to have a wonderful life.
Tony Bennett, thanks for speaking to the ABC.
Okay, thank you.